Welcome again to a packed house at the Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne on the third night of artistic gymnastic finals here at the 18th Commonwealth Games. 3 medals have been decided already. Canada winning the men's team's gold, Australia winning the women's team's gold, and in the men's individual all-around competition earlier today, victory to Australia's Josh Jeffries. The silver medal going to Nathan Garthuyk of Canada, and the bronze to Australia's Philippe Rizzo in a most exciting competition. We've had a sensational development here. Monette Russo, zooming in on a shot of her now, has withdrawn from the individual all-around competition. Monette Russo has withdrawn. She was the second highest qualifier behind fellow Australian Holly Dykes. She has been suffering over the last couple of months with an ankle injury. I understand that's been aggravated somewhat in the team competition. She is resting, hoping to reserve herself for the individual apparatus finals in a couple of days' time. Now, she's been replaced in the competition by entrant 106 Casey Griffith of Bermuda, but the notice was so short she can't get here for the first rotation. Well, Alana Slater, Australian Commonwealth Games gold medalist on 2 occasions in Kuala Lumpur and in Manchester, double gold medalist in Manchester. What a development.
It's unbelievable. I'm in shock. I just can't believe how last minute it is. I mean, Australia's chances of a trifecta has gone right out the window, and Monette Russo, it's like deja vu back to 2004 Athens. She pulled out of the all-around there because, you know, of a shin stress fracture. No, disappointing for her, disappointing for Australia, but by geez, it's opened the door for every girl out here.
Representing South Africa,
well, it's going to put a big load on the third qualified Australian representative, Chloe Sims, who had a shocker in the women's team event.
I mean, Chloe's one of those girls that either hits it really good or she has a shocker. So tonight, I hope that she goes out and hits really strong, because she is capable of getting up there in either first, second or third place. She's got the program, she's got the quality, she's just got to stay on the apparatus.
The English, Siobhan Church, Becky Downey, Imogen Cairns, the Canadians led by Elise Hoffner-Hibbs. This is a bonus for them.
Oh, it's a huge bonus for them. I mean, the same position for Gal Mackey. She had a bad day on the first day, so the door's wide open for her and anybody else who wants it. Basically, you know, we've had Beth Tweddle pull out because of injury. We've had Monette Russo pull out of injury. I mean, they're the 2 major names in the Commonwealth at the moment, and they're gone. So it's a chance for some new up-and-comers to make a name.
The top qualifying group, and that now will include the replacement, Casey Griffith of Bermuda, will be on vault first up. It'll be Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada, Casey Griffith of Bermuda, Holly Dykes of Australia, Becky Downey of England, along with Siobhan Church and Imogen Cairns, also of England.
It may be a little confusing, so on the big screen you'll hopefully find all your answers.
The rotations there, for the first rotation being shown on screen at the present time. Beam, Chanel Moonsamy from South Africa, Emma White from Scotland, Gail Mackey from Canada, Linda Castles, New Zealand, Katie Slater from Northern Ireland, and Olivia Jobs from New Zealand on 4. Little Fatima Abdulhamid from Malaysia, Carol Galashan from Scotland, Candice Konya, South Africa, Navia Binti Ali from Malaysia, Caitlin Mello from Bermuda, and Catherine Hill from Northern Ireland. Uneven bars already displayed on screen. Roberts from Wales, Chloe Sims, Australia, Alyssa Brown, Canada, Rosalie Hutton, Scotland, Lynette Lyle from Wales, and Frankie van Rooyen from South Africa. Well, the withdrawal of Monette Russo has certainly thrown the women's all-around competition wide open. Holly Dykes of Australia, the top qualifier through the women's team event on the opening day of second day of competition.
The final score is calculated by
with a qualifying score of 58.550. Ahead of Russo, now gone. Elise Hoffner-Hibbs was the third highest qualifier, ahead of the English pair, Imogen Church and Imogen Cairns and Siobhan Church.
This session features the final of the women's individual.
It's certainly going to be an interesting night.
Certainly will be. There's Imogen Cairns, number 215.
bars, beam and floor.
Becky Downey.
With the top 20
The three English girls really have to watch out for. They've certainly got room for improvement from the other night.
A maximum of 3 gymnasts from each country. The gymnast with the highest combined score on all 4.
The pressure for this evening is going to be slightly different in a team situation. You know, you're competing for your team, so the pressure is a big difference, but then individually, it's from yourself. The Bermuda girl has had, literally 5 minutes of warning?
Yes, a tough ask to come in as a late replacement at that stage. I mean, if you had 2 hours warning, that's one thing, but 2 minutes is something else altogether.
I think they were scrambling to even find her.
Gymnast, thank you. That completes your warm-up time.
But she's got a chance to compete at the Commonwealth Games. And I'm sure she'll make the most of it and enjoy herself.
Well, the initial indication was that she mightn't even get here in time for the first apparatus, but she's here by the skin of her teeth. A downcast look, little smile. A smile of regret. She should have been, could have been there.
National coach Peggy Liddick will be up in the stands because you can only have one coach per gymnast, and the personal coaches will be with their own gymnasts.
All-round champion. Please welcome from Malaysia, Nurul Fatihah.
Just completing the warm-up, and we'll have competition underway with the lead group. When I say the lead group, the top qualifying group, opening on vault. Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada. First competitor to face the music, as it were, in the individual all-round competition. Maple leaf on the sleeve, otherwise you might confuse it with a New Zealand competitor. The black and white. Here we go. Women's all-round competition. One of the medal favourites.
Yushenko full twist. She performed it very cleanly. Not a high difficulty vault, but she'll be looking for a stable performance tonight. Let's have a look in slow motion from the side. A little bit of leg separation there. She's got good height. It's a little bit short, and a small adjustment with her left foot. And from the top, see that leg separation again. But she's nice and straight, ready to progress on to 1.5 twist or a double.
Let's see what sort of a standard she'll set with the score. .9.
It's a fairly good post. We'll just have to see how all the other girls compete.
Now this is Casey Griffith, the late inclusion from Bermuda. She's just 13 years of age. On a very short run-up.
Perhaps in her training gym that they don't have the options of a longer run-up. Sukahara layout. Great job for not much notice for competition.
And Bermuda, I guess, if the run-up was 5 or 10 metres longer, she'd be up to her ankles in water.
Perhaps. Running from outside the door. Let's have another look. With the leg separation, she just shows the straight body required. but she'll have deductions for piking down.
And this competitor on floor was a medalist at the Junior Commonwealth Games. Representing Scotland, please welcome Carol Kalash.
A large step, 0.3, over 1 metre. She just needs a little bit more power and height and length. Middle of the range. .2. A good start for Casey.
That is a good start. Holly Dykes, the top qualifier, 15 years of age, from the Gold Coast in Queensland. Training at the Institute of Sport, Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra.
Her family moved for her to pursue this dream. It's obviously paying off. The Australians looked sharp the other night. Hopefully she can keep up that poised performance. But here we go with Chloe Sims. Inside Stalter. Inside Stalter full. She's got it. The required flight element to the high bar. Inside Stalter half. Jaeger. A little bit close. A little bit messy, but she's got it. Overshoot to handstand. She's working well. She just has to make this dismount. Stalter. Up. Can she stick it? Just a step on landing.
Well,
she's off and away.
A marked improvement on what we saw, and a big smile in the women's team competition. We barely saw a smile on her face.
There's the half turn and the release move. They're required to have a flight element such as that one.
She was only 9th on the qualifying list, and that was after a total of 5 falls on different apparatus in the team's final. A remarkable effort to finish that high up under the circumstances.
Certainly is, but, you know, we just saw she's got the package, and once she's on, she'll get started.
Let's go back to the vault runway and to the top qualifier, Holly Dykes.
She needs to get off to a good start to get the ball rolling. She did have a big gap ahead of everyone else in the qualifications. 1/2. Oh, she's sitting down. She'll be very disappointed with that. Coach giving her a consoling hug. Let's have another look where she went wrong. She looks good in the air. She just relaxes too early. Sits it right down. She was dead straight. No problems there. She's good height. She just didn't snap the toes down enough to create that rotation, and thus had not enough to be on her feet. Still a 13.8 though.
That's a good result.
It's a good result. The reason for that is because she does have the difficulty there in that vault, and the vault's so clean that it's only really the deduction for the fall. Chloe Sims, 14.75.
That's an excellent score. And with regard to Holly Dykes, the 13.8, remember, it's only just 0.1 of a point behind Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada, so that's excellent. Speaking of Canada, Alyssa Brown.
That first mount will not count. She's too short. Toe and half. A little bit of a struggled routine. See if she can get it better. Blind full. To catch her. Wonderfully high. Giant preparing for dismount. Double layout. Whoa, big steps backwards.
Could be the dark horse for Canada, Alyssa Brown, if she performed at her best. 16 years of age, from Oakville in Ontario. And this is Becky Downey from England.
Shenko full twist. Big step on landing. Let's look on the overhead shot. Whoa, she's really crooked on the board. You can see that's why she's fighting to stay within those tracks. Got very good height. She's a bit piked in the air. And that has caused her to land with her feet a little bit too far in front of her and taking a step backwards. It's a large one at that, 0.3 deductions.
Alyssa Brown waiting for her score on the uneven bars.
Come on, Gail!
Calling out encouragement to one of her teammates. For Becky Downey, 8.6. Oh, sorry, yes, the 13.8. What am I doing? I'm looking at the judges' score on the bottom line.
That 8.6 was her deductions, though. It's a fairly low score for the execution.
Can you eyeball it?
No, what?
You eyeball the other lady?
Our next competitor on the floor is the bronze medalist from the Southeast Asia Games, representing Malaysia, Nabi Ha.
This is Rosalie Hutton from Scotland, just waiting her cue to take the uneven bars.
There's obviously some discussions about Alyssa Brown's routine. There it is, 13.4. Putting her in second position. Good start for her.
Chloe Sims of Australia, top scorer so far on the uneven bars.
Jump to handstand. It's in the right range. For the women's bars, it's all about angles. Ooh, full twisting to catch her. Don't see many of them. Another plane to catch her. She's very pikey on the bar with her hips very closed. It's heavily deducted. It's a bit struggled. Messy. Double Arabian dismount. But she got through the routine and she showed that very interesting first release move. There it is from top view. Shushanova performed it. It's interesting, it's like a half turn into the Tkachev. And here's the first one. Knee bend, a little bit low, but she's done well to put a different sort of bar routine together.
Siobhan Church, big hope for England on the vault runway.
Trains in California, both of her parents English. That's from front pike half. It's a good vault. We'll have a few deductions on her landing. Her shoulders too close to her knees. You'll see here on this side view. There it is, shoulders down. And and the length is not quite enough.
England, of course, missing their most experienced performer, Beth Tweddle, who withdrew prior to the start of games competition. And that cost them dearly in the team's competition, finishing with the bronze medal. But Siobhan Church is a real medal contender here in the individual all-around. 13.650.
12.7 for Rosalie Hutton from Scotland. She should be happy with that score.
Right. Come on, today. Come on,
A big cheer for Imogen Cairns of England. The last in the first group on the vault runway.
Schenko 1.5. It's beautiful. It's got height, it's got length. Just what the judges are looking for.
Well, the top scorer on vault thus far has been Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada with a 13.9.
My guess is that this vault will go just a tad higher into the 14s. She's got more height. Her knees are a bit bent in the air. A little bit of form break, but it's got a higher start score or difficulty value.
Well spotted, Judge. 14.6.
Puts her into the lead.
Without doubt. Commanding score. So she tops the scoring on the vault in that first group. Katie Slater. Oh, my apologies. Yes, Frankie van Hooyen of South Africa. My attention distracted momentarily trying to keep up with what's going on. The judges are having the same problem. Waiting for a score to come up before van Hooyen goes ahead on the uneven bars.
Look of concentration on her face. Stole to shoot to the high bar. To catch her. Oh, she's off.
She didn't catch it.
She certainly didn't. Now when a gymnast falls, they have 30 seconds to do whatever preparations they would like to their hand guards. To get back on. Yeah, you can see there she
hit it with the wrists.
Hit it with the wrists, bounced off, and she just couldn't re-grasp. If they don't get on that bar within 30 seconds, the routine is over. Pack salto.
No.
Oh, more mistakes. Toe on full, dismount, full in, double back. Hard routine, difficult beginning for her.
Please welcome Catherine Ward.
Well, some sympathetic applause there for van Hooyen.
deductions in the dismount. Shoulders down, hop on landing.
Well, there'll be a lot of deductions there.
She's still smiling though.
Well, she's in a tough group with Alyssa Brown of Canada and Australia's Chloe Sims. They've both scored very, very well on the uneven bars. Coming to the end of the first rotation.
But this is sport and anything can happen. There's still 3 rotations to go.
It's the New Zealand girl just waiting for her turn on vault, and this will complete the first rotation. Olivia Jobsis.
Waiting for the green light to give her the go-ahead.
Olivia's from Auckland. Represented New Zealand at the Commonwealth Youth Games and here at the World Championships last November.
Starting a routine off with a gorgeous planche. Change oblique wobbly. That's a major error. 0.5. Took that step out. Does well. Keep it on the beam. Sheep jump. Beautiful. Full head release. Front somersault. Oh.
And she's off, and that's a 0.8.
The beam is just so unforgiving.
It's the only apparatus in use at the moment. She's the last competitor in the first rotation, and there are 13,500 people watching every move.
That is scary.
Is she aware of that?
She will be very aware of it. There's no music playing in the background, so as an athlete, you can hear every single nut and bolt in that beam, and you can feel yourself shaking. That whistle is telling her she has 10 seconds to dismount the beam, otherwise she'll incur overtime. Double front. Oh! Standing it up much better.
Olivia Jobsis from New Zealand, and that performance will conclude the first rotation. We wait for a score for her. It's not going to change events at the top of the leaderboard.
Thank you. That completes your first rotation. Please move to your
Since slow-mo, the change oblique just relaxing on her landing, causing her to fight it out. This top view of the flip layout, perfectly straight. Here's that front salt. You can see her front foot is turned right across the beam when she takes off. She has no chance of staying on that apparatus. And this dismount, double front, shoulders a bit down, but she's on her feet. That's probably one of the most difficult dismounts you could do.
How will the judges score it? And where will it put Olivia Jobsis in the overall scheme of things after the first rotation?
We'll just have to wait and see, I think. I mean, she doesn't have a big difficulty in her routine, and she did have the fall and a couple other big wobbles, and there's major deductions for a dismount like that one because you've got the legs split in the air, the shoulders on the landing, the big step.
Also awaiting a score for Frankie van Rooyen. And there it is, an 11.1 for her on the uneven bars.
That's quite a low score. Remembering though that she did have a fall She tapped the floor and had some very late pirouette work.
And that's, under the circumstances, not a bad score for Olivia Jobs. It's 13.050.
That's correct.
And there's the leaderboard. Chloe Sims of Australia ahead, 14.75 of Imogen Cairns of England, 14.6. Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada, 13.9 on the same score. The Welsh girl, Lynette Lyle, 13.9. Excellent job by her in the opening rotation. Then Becky Downey of England in fifth position on 13.850. Holly Dykes of Australia next, sixth. Seventh to Siobhan Church of England. Katie Slater of Northern Ireland, seventh. Alyssa Brown of Canada in equal ninth position with her compatriot Gail Mackey.
Round off or quarter turn entry.
And so on down the list.
Requires the gymnast to perform a somersault or twisting element after pushing off the block with both. Twisting element after pushing off the block with both.
I think the thing to remember with watching this competition is most of these girls are quite young and inexperienced. So you may see a few mistakes that you wouldn't normally see in the experienced girls. But it's so great to see an enormous amount of talent out there.
With England obviously feeling the pinch with the withdrawal of Beth Tweddle, there's our leader, Chloe Sims of Australia, who did not fare well in the women's teams event, but gives every indication that she's put that out of her mind.
The warm-up for these competitions takes place
And an excellent 14.750 on the uneven bars to open her account. Yes, England suffering with the withdrawal of their star Beth Tweddle.
On the apparatus they will compete on first in the competition.
Now Australia with a shock late withdrawal from the all-around of Minette Russo.
On the apparatus before completing their routines.
You'd think the Canadians might come through strongly here.
30 seconds on beam.
England, of course, still with Siobhan Church and Becky Downey and Imogen Cairns also have a strong hand. But Canada really need Gail Mackey to come to the fore alongside Elise Hoffner-Hibbs if they're to mount a challenge for the all-round gold medal.
There isn't a lot between them at the moment in the first rotation. I mean, you look from 1 to 10, it's only 1.35. That's easily made up on something that perhaps they started on their weakest event and they're going to move to their strongest event now. So there's still chances for anybody in that top 10 position. Elise Hoffner-Hibbs in Canada, waiting around for her turn.
It's a lot of waiting around.
There's our start list for the uneven bars. Casey Griffith from Bermuda going up first, followed by Holly Dykes from Australia, Becky Downey, England, Siobhan Church, England, Imogen Cairns, England, and then Elise Hoffner-Hibbs from Canada. The tension in that group must be huge.
All except the girl from Bermuda, Casey Griffith, is still a bit bemused about what she's doing there.
I think she is. I think she's just a little bit in shock. She came in today thinking she's going to sit in the crowd and have a nice spectacle in front of her, and here she is amongst the mix. It's a wonderful opportunity for her to have an experience like this at the Commonwealth Games, hopefully inspiring her to follow on her gymnastics dreams.
This is Carol Galashan, one of the twins from Scotland, Carol and Helen Galashan.
They could play a very nasty trick on everyone in here and swap places in the middle.
It is pretty hard to tell the difference. One, and I'm not sure which now, I can't remember, is slightly taller.
Carol's taller. Shinko lap full twist. She's done a good vault. She's smiling, so she should be. There's the twin sister giving me a big hug. Just a little bit crooked, but she still landed inside the trans and then taking the step out. Let's have a look more closely. She turned a little bit too early off the horse, which prevented her from getting the full amplitude that she would normally have gotten.
Scots are happy, and why not? Chloe Sims of Australia on beam.
It's a good beginning. Got the handstand walkover. They're required to do a leap series, as Chloe just performed. Front salt. She's got really good amplitude on that skill. Front aerial handspring. She keeps it moving. There's the back salt. Little wobble. All she has to do is be consistent. Full turn with leg at horizontal. So the Inodi, it's a very difficult skill. She performs it beautifully. Side salt, a little bit of a wobble, shoulders forward, but maintaining her balance. Front pike somersault. Oh, she just stays on. That's an extremely difficult skill. It's one of the highest value skills you can compete on the beam. Now Chloe has a very difficult dismount. Just has to land this on her feet very cleanly. Double front. Oh, just. Good girl.
The Queensland girl from the Queensland Academy of Sport, 15-year-old Chloe Sims gets a huge round of applause.
She'll be glad that that one's over for her. There's the Inodi top view. You can see as she jumps, she does a half turn. Difficult to judge where you are. A little bit of a shoulders forwards, but keeps it up. There's the double front dismount. Pull it right around, cowboying the legs a little bit. Deep squat, but look, she's on her feet. Good on her.
She was the leader after the first rotation, Chloe Sims. And she should score well, although she was unsteady on two notable occasions in that routine on beam. For Carol Galashan, 13.950 is a very good vault.
Holly Dykes inside Stalter. She has beautiful execution. Stalter to handstand. To Katchev, sky high. She can almost have a tea break up there. Jaeger, pike position. Beautiful. Now she must get this first handstand half over. Oh, having mistakes. She's off. She's not having a good day. Just has a dismount to go. Line full. Giant. Dismount, double back with a full twist.
Nice finish, but the fall in the middle is going to cost.
That's very costly, falling on her two apparatus. She's got to do some immaculate routines. She wants to get back up into the medal placings. Stalter, shoot to the high bar. There's the Stalter and into the Tkatchev. Look how high that is. back salto, leg separation. Now here's where she went wrong. She turned, but she just didn't have enough momentum to get going over the bar. She really could have tried to half turn out and re-glide and kip again, but opting just to take the fall. And there's the dismount with a hop on landing.
Well, she sat down on landing on her vault. She's been off on the bars. She was the top qualifier for the all-around.
It's a hug from her coach.
And there'll be a lot of interest in this score because she's got some ground to make up.
She's capable of a huge beam score. Yeah, so is Chloe.
Chloe Sims, 14.55.
Holly Dykes, 13.7, considering it's still a pretty good score. Becky Downey. Short on that kipped handstand. Stall to half, stall to full. Gorgeous, right to handstand. One and a half. Giant full to Katchev. She's travelling very good here. Overshoot to handstand. The execution is going to be very clean so far. She just sticks this dismount. Double full back.
Excellent.
Excellent.
15-year-old Becky Downey from England. Whoa, she knows it was good too.
Amanda Kirby, the coach, very happy.
Even better than expected, I suspect.
I suspect so. She was just right in handstand. And all of her elements that required her to be. Is that handstand position. Overshoot. No deductions there. Straddle cast to handstand. There's that overshoot again. She's got beautiful technique on that element. Close up of her hands. You just see how much that bar moves when the gymnast works it hard. There's the dismount. Quickly turning. I stopped that, judges. Don't take anything off me. Small smile for the camera and family back at home.
A long wait for the score to come up for Becky Downey and for England, with 3 representatives in this individual all-round contest.
The judges having a little bit of discussion there about handstand lines. Now while we're on that subject, it is important for the gymnasts, or the girls in particular, to really hit those handstands. And if they're not within 10 degrees, then there is a deduction. And if they're over 30 degrees, then it's 0.5.
14.
It's a good score. She's being very stable.
Siobhan Church next up for England. 3 English girls following one another.
Siobhan has a huge release in her bar routine. Let's hope that she catches it. Toe on pike to Katchev, straight into pack salto. 0.2 in connection value. Shaposhkanova overshoot to handstand, toe shoot to handstand. She's got some great combinations in this routine. A bit different. Eagle giant, double front.
That's impressive.
She it. Wave to the crowd of acknowledgement. That was a gorgeous routine.
That was excellent. That was the best we've seen.
Packed full of difficulty and connection value. The A score is going to be high.
That's good.
I don't think she can believe how good it was. Here's that big release. Toe on to Tkachev, piked just at the end. Maybe called a layout, it may be called a pike. We don't know. There's the catch. Immediate into Pak Salto. Still got big amplitude on it. There's the half into the Eagle Giant. Leg separation there. Double front. Sticking it.
Well, England are shining here on bars because Becky Downey scored a 14. Siobhan Church is going to score better than that even. This is going to be a very high scoring routine.
The judges working at every calculation they can.
Siobhan Church was in 7th place after the first rotation. She had a 13.65 on vault. So she really does need a good score here. And she's going to get it.
She'll definitely get a big score with that routine.
And whilst we wait for it, her compatriot, Imogen Cairns, steps up to the platform for her routine.
My name.
English girls won the bronze medal in the teams competition. Silver, I'm sorry. Yes. England won the silver medal in the teams competition. Canada the bronze. And that was after winning gold at successive games previously. 14.85.
Wow. That is a big score.
Come on, Em, you could do it.
Possibly the highest we've seen on the uneven bars.
It's the highest we've seen, and it's the highest on any apparatus tonight.
Jump to handstand, just maybe inside. Shaposhkanova. Pak Salto. Again, big combination bonus for the English girls. Blind full. Ginger, a little bit low, but she makes it. She's got a dismount, double pike. Small step on landing. I think the English girls seem to be working much better this evening.
That was a lot better than this.
It was a lot better, you heard the coach say.
The coach should know. Here's the mount. She might be a little bit short. It might not get counted, but there's the Shaposhkanova. And the Pak Salto. They're huge elements to be putting together. There's the handwork of the blind full. And into her ginger. Her required flight element on the same bar. And her dismount. Double pike. Now her double pike is only of a C value, so she doesn't fulfill the requirement of having a D. So she'll be 0.2 down on her special requirements. But I don't think it'll affect it because she's got such big combination bonus.
Still likely to be a 14 plus score.
I'd certainly hope so with a routine like that.
As we've seen right throughout the contest, the judges are very careful before they post the score because they're operating under the new scoring system. It's taking some getting used to. It's more complex. They've got a lot of additional values and penalties to consider.
There's a lot more mathematics involved for the judges as well, so they want to be absolutely sure that their mathematics is on target before they put out the score.
Canada's Elise Hoffner-Hibbs is still 13.4. Gosh, that's disappointing.
She won't be so happy with that. I think they must have not counted an element, but here's Elise Hoffner-Hibbs. She's got good difficulty. Toe on 1.5. Piked Jaeger salto. Formed beautifully. Blind full. Giant half. I think that was a mistake there. Another giant half. What is she doing? Toe on half. Giant half. She's doing a bit of a marathon, I think. She's been covering up for some errors. Just a dismount to go. Double layout. Oh,
nice landing.
Making around her feet. Well, she did make some errors in there. It was a marathon effort. She kept covering for it.
How did the judges view that?
Well, she'll be down on her connection values, but she'll still get paid all the values because she did hit all the handstands. It's just she didn't go in the right direction when she hit the handstand. There's a hecht. So she went jump to handstand, hecht mount.
So what she did will make up for what she didn't do?
Perhaps, but not to the same value. It just won't be as high a value routine, but she did do a very good job of... See there, she was supposed to go the opposite direction. But the routine may come out at a good position. I certainly hope. Two giant wind up for the double layout. Legs apart, but just a hop on landing. From another view. She would have been very tight at the end of that. The important thing though, she didn't give up and jump off the apparatus. She just wasn't waiting long enough on all of her turning elements.
Carol Orchard, the Canadian coach, with some positive comments. Put it out of your mind.
She's just trying to figure out in her own head what she was missing, what she'll get.
Chanel Munsami of South Africa on floor.
One half twist, front tuck half. Front 1.5. It's clean. Shoulders a little low. She creates very nice lines. It's a leap series that is required of the girls in their floor routines. Split full. Run a flip to double twist. Nicely controlled. Oh, triple pirouette, falling out of it. Don't know if those toes went over the line.
Certainly on the line.
Depends on the eyesight of that line judge over there. Two and a half twist to finish, a bit low. She's on her feet.
14 years of age. Chanel Munsami.
Rolling her eyes. What a silly mistake. Here's the front 1.5 twist. She's got a lot of potential, this girl. She's still very young. That double twist was very clean. She's quite off balance. You can see there she hopped over and then was fighting not to go outside the floor area. No flag was raised, so she's safe from any penalties there. The legs just seem to give way, maybe perhaps a little bit tired.
Waiting on a score for Moonsamy of South Africa, and also on a score for Hofna Hibbs of Canada for her bars routine.
Still a 14.2.
That's a good score under the circumstances.
Like we say, she lost a little bit in difficulty, but she was still hitting her handstands pretty good, so she didn't have too much execution. Every gymnast you have to make the most of what you've got. And you put yourself in a situation, so you have to get yourself out of it best you can.
12.65 for Chanel Moonsamy. Coming towards the end of this second rotation, and anxiously awaiting the scores. There's no doubt that the Australian girl, Chloe Sims, by virtue of two excellent scores, 14.55 on beam, followed by a 14.750 on bars, is going to keep her in the lead by a fair margin over Siobhan Church of England. And there are the individual standings. Chloe Sims, Australia, in the lead, 29.3 over Siobhan Church of England, Elise Hofna-Hibbs of Canada, and the other two English girls, Imogen Cairns, Becky Downey, followed by Australia's Holly Dykes, Canada's Gail Mackey in 8th place, Carol Galasham of Scotland, Alyssa Brown of Canada 9th, Rosalie Hutton of Scotland 10th.
On the beat, measuring 10 centimetres wide, should demonstrate a combination of acrobatic elements such as flips, somersaults, and gymnastic elements.
There's our leader,
Turns, jumps.
Chloe Sims. She'll be on floor.
The gymnast must use the entire length of the beat.
She has powerful tumbling.
Tempo, element correction, and change in height, working close to and away from the beam.
Well, there are still
Each routine
possibly
must be no more than
8
1
gymnasts
with a deduction
here with 2 rotations to go with a shot at a medal. From Australia's Chloe Sims down to and including maybe Carol Galasham from Scotland. A very, very even contest. Those at the top, Chloe Sims, Siobhan Church, Elise Hofna-Hibbs, cannot afford to put a foot wrong, because Imogen Cairns and Becky Downey are hot on their heels, and the second Australian, Holly Dykes, if she were to recapture the form that she showed in the women's team final over these last 2 apparatus, could still figure in the mix. The contenders on vault on screen.
We have 30 seconds remaining. 30 seconds, thank you.
And on uneven bars. But it's fair to say the bulk of the interest will be on beam and floor, with an eye on Canada's Gail Mackey on vault.
That completes your floor time.
Chloe just finishing her 30-second touch. She was first up on beam, so she'll move down to the end of the line and go up last on floor. They work in a rotation system.
Our first competitor on floor in the rotation was a medalist in the Pan Am Championships in Rio de Janeiro.
Alyssa Brown of Canada.
leg not quite high enough on that double pirouette. It'll be devalued down to a normal double pivot. Falling in pike position, a little bit low, but she's on her feet. One and a half twist. Through to 2.5, she's out of the floor area. Just staying up. Tuck full twist. Taking some big deep breaths before this last tumble row. Whip, whip, through to double pike. She's on her feet. Shushin over full. She did a good job with that routine. A few minor errors.
Well, she finished well after stepping out of the floor twice.
That piking a bit early on that, lucky to make it round. It has a 0.1 connection value with the two flight elements before the double pike.
Australia's Holly Dykes on beam.
She needs a perfect beam routine here. Aerial cartwheel,
Oh.
she's off. I think she's gone for the evening. She's at a half. Toes not right around, so it'll be devalued. Change leg ring, gorgeous. She's still a very elegant gymnast. Nodi. Front aerial, flip layout. That's a stunning connection. The required full turn as part of their element requirements. Standing that up so high. She just has her dismount to go. She must land this on her feet. Double tuck dismount, step on the landing. But disappointing for Holly Dykes.
Well, she'd have been under a certain amount of pressure coming in as the top qualifier, and then to have her more experienced compatriot, Minette Russo, who had also qualified in second place, withdraw at the last minute. That would have just doubled the pressure on her coming into this competition.
Surely did. You see, she shifted her foot after she landed. It'll be given a lesser value skill. Let's have a look. Flip layout. This was beautiful. Not a sight of movement. And again on this front salt. Look how high she lands. Amplitude plus. The thing is, though, is that this is her first major event. She's had injuries as a young gymnast prior to this competition.
Alyssa Brown of Canada, 13.3 for her on floor. Now let's go to the vault runway, and Gail Mackey, as I said, this is the other Canadian competitor we need to keep an eye on over these last two rotations. A high scoring vault here will put her right in the medals mix.
Schenker lap for twist. Beautifully done. That's an improvement from what we've seen before from Gail Mackey. She's off to the side, but she keeps it in the tracks. Just a small hop on landing.
Score to come. And it's a good one. 14.05 for Gail Mackey.
Come on, Gail. You too.
Becky Downey of England on beam.
Starting with a press to handstand. The girls are required to have a mount that is included into the code of points. Front salt, a bit of a wobble. Change leg leap, big wobble. Wolf jump, split jump. Back leg was bent. Back salt, pulling up strong, preventing any deductions for wobbles. Front aerial again, she's just a little bit wobbly throughout this whole routine. She's looking a bit nervous. Oh, big fall.
Oh, a nasty fall for Becky Downey. Almost at the end of her routine.
Encouragement from the crowd to get back up. It's brave.
10 seconds less.
Double twist. Oh. That's gonna hurt.
Fly out twice, the Welsh junior national.
I'm okay. Just a little shaken up.
Here's that mount. Pressing up to handstand. Close up of her feet in the full turn. A shot like that really does make you realise how small that beam is. Whoa, she's just feet slipping all over the place. 1 foot to one side, 1 foot to the other, and she just can't stay on. Here's the close-up. There's the first foot gone, second foot gone, and just she can't stay on that beam. She had no choice. She'll be okay though. Just a bit shaken up, and the dismount. She's having a bit of a laugh about it. She can't change it, she can't take it back. One of those freak accidents that gymnastics can have.
Score for Holly Dykes is coming. Whoa! 14.850 for her routine on B. Now that is exceptional.
It is exceptional, but the reason for that is that Holly works with such clean lines. She's got no execution deductions when she does her skills. She points her toes right to the end, and so basically she just has the deduction for the fall and any small minor wobble that she has, because everything else is just done to that absolute maximum.
That's equal to the highest score. This is a score for Becky Downey as well, at 13.850. But that score for Holly Dykes equal to the highest score on any apparatus tonight. Siobhan Church had a 14.850 on bars. Imogen Cairns now. My apologies, Siobhan Church.
First acro series, flip layout, she's solid. She's working confidently so far. Full turn with her leg at horizontal. Change leg side, She hasn't put a foot wrong so far. We can't speak too soon. Sheep jump. Front aerial. Little slight movements. Aerial cartwheel. There's her move. Right down to the beam. The gymnasts are required to touch their leotard on the beam to show that they've used every part of it. Oh, stays on. It still will be counted as a fall because it's a fall on the apparatus. There weren't many other deductions. She's over time. She'll incur 0.3 deduction because she's more than 2 seconds over time. Double pike. That is such a shame because everything was just so beautifully done.
Right up to where concentration was great, and then all you did was dip your body instead of staying tall. Couldn't have asked for it.
And next competitor on floor one.
Just like Amanda said.
National Championships. Will you welcome, please, Frankie van Rooyen.
Performed that well. Another look from the overhead. See, she had a slight movement to the left, but she kept pulling up strong. That's why she stayed on so beautifully. Now let's have a look at this element. She was off there. She just held back, land on the side and just, oh, she just didn't want to do anything. Let's have another look. Yeah, she's landed body forwards, head right down. She's almost trying to make it a bit of a dance up there.
Must be difficult to keep your orientation though when that happens, the beam being so narrow.
It is. It's very hard to keep your orientation, and you're just fighting to stay on. And Siobhan Church did a great job in finding Spirit Plus. And she'll be a bit disappointed. But hopefully the rest of the routine was done with minimal errors. And she has fairly good difficulty. So you still might see a score that's good enough to keep her up there amongst the medals. 13.35. Still in with a chance.
Staying on beam, staying with England. Imogen Cairns.
Front aerial. Another wobble in that element. The layout. Just hopping around to stay on. Aerial cartwheel. A nodie. It's a leap series. Wobbly. Holding back a little bit on those leaps and jumps. On beam you must go 100%. Full turning flip. She's having a few wobbles on all of her skills so far. Just a dismount to finish up. And a 2.5 twist, which is right off the side.
It's going to be costly, that routine.
The whole routine just lacked something. She just wasn't confident. There's actually a deduction for lack of sureness. Front aerial. You can see there, instead of pulling up strong and tall, she relaxed to the side. So another look. Yeah, she didn't straighten her leg, foot was off to the side. And just had to grab with her toes.
From the Championships of Melbourne Island, representing Wales, Melanie Roberts.
Full twisting flip. Shoulders dropping again. And her dismount. She's off centre a little bit, but she just doesn't have the rotation. She hasn't kicked it up enough. And she's forced to take that big step to the side. Not only is she deducted with that big step, but also her body posture when she's landed and the sidewards momentum.
Well, Imogen Cairns was in 4th place after the second rotation.
Well, it's certainly not going to make her move up the list.
Looking anxiously. And that's, well, that's as good as she could expect, 13.6, but not good enough. Let's go to the vault now, and Emma White of Scotland.
Schenker, 1.5. Oh, she's down. It's a good valued vault. It's difficult to perform. Let's have a look from the side profile. Not getting enough lift. She just turned too early. You can see her tucking her legs down to even try and create any rotation at all. There, she started to turn already. She's gone up, but she just hasn't rotated. She just needed to wait before she turned. Release Hoffner Hibbs. Fly spring mount. This is her acro series coming up. Aerial cartwheel out, step out, step out. She's on. Only girl in the world to do that connection. Illusion turn. It's a very difficult turn to complete. She's being sharp and aggressive. Front salt. A small landing error. Double pirouette. You don't often see the girls do a double pirouette as nicely as that. Just leading into a dismount. Vital that she lands this. Double back. She does.
Well, that's possibly the most competent and complete routine that we've seen on the beam tonight. And she's a gold medal contender, Elise Hoffner Hibbs.
The coach is excited. There's that fly spring mount. Elise Hoffner Hibbs has worked well. She's put together a different, unique routine. There's that connection. It's got a 0.2 connection value to it. And there's the double back. 0.1 step. The judges are always looking for someone who's going to create a routine that's innovative. And she's certainly done that.
Coach is still applauding. In the meantime, we are going to the floor for the competition leader at this point. Australia's Chloe Sims, the junior Commonwealth champion.
She's got dramatic music from The Mummy. There's the full in tuck, bouncing out but staying on her feet. Arabian sky high. Again, little stumbles, but good girl for staying up. Trajectory full, perfectly completed with the feet. Leg up, double pirouette. Another important tumble. Round the flip layout. That's odd, she normally has a double front. She's opted to go safe, I think. It's a wise choice. She's expressive, she's working with the music. Crowd giving her encouragement. Whip to double twist. A little bit off centre.
Well, look at the concentration, the focus on the face of Chloe Sims as she concluded that superb routine on the floor. And it will need to be superb to maintain her lead at the end of the third rotation.
She's happy to be finishing a routine that's clean and on her feet. She had major troubles in the first round of competition on her tumbling. Let's have another look. Twisting a little bit early, but there's the full in. She just landed so vertically on the floor and not absorbed the landing and rebounded out. And there's the second tumble, double Arabian, opening out a little early, but keeping it up. That Tijetto full, it is nice, working so well with the music. Now this is interesting, she's put in just a round of flip layout. She normally has a double front salto. She's opted to play safe, which perhaps could be a wise decision at this point.
Is it enough, though, to maintain her lead 3/4 of the way through the competition? Because it is getting very close at the top. Emma White, we saw from Scotland earlier on vault, a 13.35. But the score that we're really waiting on is Elise Hoffner-Hibbs on beam, and of course the score for Chloe Sims on floor. These are the two. Look at this. 15. Well, she's jumped off the beam and vaulted into the lead.
Oh, that's incredible. Her coach so excited.
15. Well, it now depends on the score for Chloe Sims, who will need, let me do some quick arithmetic here, at least a 13.8 plus to maintain her lead at the 3/4 mark.
It'll be tight. She took out some difficulty. Still waiting for that score.
This is a different girl to the girl we saw in the team's competition.
Completely different.
Her demeanour, everything about her tonight is different.
Some girls, when they have a bad start, or once they have a fall,
13.6.
13.6, it's not quite enough.
It's not enough. We'll wait for the official scores to come to hand, but you'll find that Elise Hoffner-Hibbs from Canada is going to be the leader going into the final rotation.
But Chloe does have a strong vault.
There it is. Hoffner-Hibbs 43.10, Chloe Sims 42.90. Holly Dykes of Australia in third place, then Siobhan Church of England, Imogen Cairns of England, Gail Mackey of Canada, Carol Galashan of Scotland, Becky Downey of England. They are the top 8, but the big medal contenders are in the top half dozen. Alyssa Brown from Canada in 9th, then Lynette Lyle, the Welsh girl, Rosalie Hutton from Scotland, Katie Slater from Northern Ireland. Well, unbelievable score by Hoffner-Hibbs on beam, a 15.
She is in a perfect position coming into floor. She is in a perfect position coming into floor.
First up on floor in this final rotation. 14-year-old Becky Downey.
Competitor on floor is twice the British escort champion. Please welcome Becky Downey.
The music hit the road, Jack. Full in tuck, hands down, she's fallen. Triple. Completed that completely around. She's lost that sparkle. Triple pivot. Whip double twist. It's a third tumbling run. The leap combination is a special requirement for floor. Two and a half twist. You see the disappointment in her eyes. It's not the way you want to finish a competition.
Oh, just the other way around today. Hey, well done.
Just looking ahead on the start list here as the coach sympathises with Rebecca Downey. Elise Hoffner-Hibbs, the current leader, will be the third last to go on floor, which means she'll go before Chloe Sims has her final vault. But Holly Dykes of Australia is last to go on floor, so she'll know what the position is.
She'll know what the position is, but as a gymnast, you won't calculate what you need because that just puts too much pressure on yourself. You go out there to perform to your absolute best and then see where it places you.
Well, Becky Downey, after the fall on beam, having a little trouble just getting herself up for this final performance.
Here's her last tumbling run, 2.5 twist. That was good. Finishing off her competition for today. 13.3. The great thing about finishing first is that you get to be at least first for some point in time. She should quickly take a photo.
Here's a strong medal contender, Siobhan Church.
Double Arabian. She's on her feet. She's inside the floor area. Handspring double twist. Oh, gorgeous. Change the ring. Jete half. Cat leap 1.5. Double pivot with the leg at horizontal. Hopefully that'll get counted. The leg going up and down a little bit. She's a very elegant gymnast on the floor. Front salt step out. Double twist, a little bit crooked, a little bit low, but nonetheless, she's completed it neatly. Picking up the pace before her last tumbling row. Vital that she is on her feet. Handspring 1.5 twist, she is. Hard to tell if she's happy or not.
Nothing showing on her face. now some indication that she's pretty happy. So she was in
Good girl, Chef. Good girl.
4th place at the end of the previous rotation on a total of 41.850.
Will it be enough? Here's her replay of her first tumbling line, that double Arabian. It's very high. A little bit soft on that landing, struggling, but good girl for staying up. Handspring double twist forwards. A little bit leg separation, but dancing right out of it. Front salt step out. Round of flip double twist. Legs apart in the air, making her a little bit crooked.
The best result would be a bronze medal, but that's going to take a good score, and 13.150 I don't think is going to do it.
Probably not quite enough, but it really depends on what everybody else does. She's got to sit and play the waiting game, and that's just as hard as competing. Double Arabian, sky high, smile. Round of 1.5 twist, through to a double, sticking the landing. She's been expressive, using her head, fingers, her arms and everything to portray a story. Triple turn in the air and within that somersault. Fully completed. What does she have left? I hope she has enough. 2.5 twist, slightly slipping.
Imogen Cairns of England, she'll need a 13.5 to overhaul her compatriot Siobhan Church and move up into 4th place and possibly challenge for a bronze medal.
Nice. There's lots. We even had a bit of head.
She has a good chance of getting that score with a routine like this. So on the replay is the double Arabian. She starts off backwards, does a half turn and 2 somersaults forwards. You don't see them much higher than Imogen Cairns. You see how expressive she is. And a tango for her floor routine. Triple twist, a smile. Take that, judges. Dare to take anything off me. The 2.5 to finish. A little bit of a slip, but she saves it with a step backwards.
Waiting for the score, anxious. 13.5 will put her in 4th. Anything better than that would really see a strong challenge by her for a bronze medal.
Anxiously waiting, looking at that scoreboard. Please give me some information, she says.
A 14.150. Well, this does make her a definite bronze medal contender. 14.150. Overhaul Siobhan Church. But this is the one that they have to beat. Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada. Look for something special here.
Beautiful triple pyramid. a performer. Full in pike. Oh, 2 steps. She's out of the floor area. She can still make it up. She was ahead of all those girls. Double Arabian. Good. You can see that performance coming through. That's nice to perform. Double pivot to a scale. Tuck full. There's that little 5th tumble. Don't underestimate it. Takes a lot of energy. Change leg leap to jeté. Straight at the judges, staring them in the eye. One and a half backwards, full twist forwards. It's a good tumble. What has she got left? I hope she's got enough in the tank. Come on, Elise Hoffner-Hibbs. On her feet, she is. You know what? That could be enough.
Is that the gold medal?
I don't know. So hard to tell.
Well, there are only 2 people who can alter the course of events here, and they are the 2 Australian competitors.
This is one of them, Chloe Sims. She was only 0.2 behind her coming into this rotation. Come on, Chloe Sims. That's what the whole crowd is sending that message. Handspring pike half. Oh, it's so close. Congratulations there from all the other coaches. There's the pike and there's the half. She's got so much height. A little bit of length needed, but you know what? It's such a good vault. She was very tidy. She landed fairly upright. Only a 0.1 on that landing.
Well, that's going to guarantee
So hard to tell.
either a silver or a gold medal for Chloe Sims.
She's just got to sit and wait.
Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada.
Let's have another look. There's that full in pike where she took those steps out. She rebounded out the floor area. Only a 0.1 for out the floor area. It's only 1 foot. It's that leap series. It all depends on whether she's kept that lead. She had 0.2 over Chloe Sims from Australia. And here's her double pike dismount. Legs apart, but she's landed very upright.
She needs a 14, I'd say, to be guaranteed the gold.
Congratulations there from her coach.
14 or better. What did the judges think?
What did it feel like?
Still waiting.
It felt good. Yeah.
What about?
Yeah.
Oh, what a good score. 14.2. The pressure really is on Hoffner-Hibbs and on the judges, because she does need a 14 or better.
Little sister.
Chloe's just jumped into the lead, and there's that maple leaf on the sleeve of Elise Hoffner-Hibbs. We still don't have a score.
Finishing total for Chloe Sims, 57.100.
Either way, she's got a medal. We just don't know what colour it is yet.
That's right. Well, don't forget, Holly Dykes is still to come. She's got something to say about this.
She certainly does.
Crowd breathless here with anticipation.
I think everyone's eyes are glued on that scoreboard up here in the Rod Laver Arena.
Tell them.
She needs a 14 or better. 14, exactly. So they are tied.
They're tied for first.
Yes, they are tied for first. Australia's Chloe Sims and Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada are tied for first at the moment, but Holly Dykes of Australia still has her floor routine to come. Can she split them? Can she snatch it away from both of them?
Who knows? Congratulations there for Len, the Canadian physio. And here's another Canadian, Gail Mackey. She'll give it her best shot. She's on the uneven bars and she's got the go-ahead, the green light.
6th place coming into the final rotation. At that stage, you'd have set an outside chance at a medal, but not any longer.
Free hip handstand, line change. Corkina, she hits her foot on the bar, making it difficult to continue. Toe and half to eagle grip, Jaeger pike somersault. She's hit her handstands quite well, a little bit loose through the body, you can see there. Shoot to the low bar, to handstand. Half to eagle, dismount, no. She hasn't got it. She looks like, look at her handguards looking I've slipped off.
Well, what a position we're in here as a disappointed Gail Mackey leaves the platform. We have a tie at the head of affairs on a total of 57.10 for both Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada.
There's that hit of the foot.
Chloe Dykes of Australia, with one competitor to come on floor.
And she could have something to say about it. If I know the Holly Dykes that I've seen before, she certainly will. There's that fall. She just doesn't kick it up and over. It looks like she's slipped off the bar. Hasn't got enough height.
Go Holly. You can hear the call from the crowd, the Australian supporters in the crowd.
Chloe Sims.
Just doing a quick calculation, Holly Dykes would need an impossible 14.7, well, not an impossible, but a 14.75.
It'll have to be perfect.
to match these two. So she needs better than a 14.75 to take away the gold medal.
It's a big ask, but I think Holly might be able to achieve it. Otherwise, she'll be very close.
Ladies and gentlemen, our final competitor on
We've only had 2 scores of 14 or better on floor tonight.
And they haven't been anywhere near 14.75.
Hoffner-Hibbs had a 14. Imogen Cairns had a 14.15. What can this young lady do?
She's graceful. She's got the look. She's got the power. Triple turn. First tumbling row, full in pike. It's good. And a flip 2.5. Oh, punch front to a bottom. She shouldn't have tried for it. Holly's not having a good day. Falling on every apparatus. So I think it's safe to say that she's not going to get into the gold medal position. Tuck full, rebounding right out of it. Del pirouette, leg right at horizontal, gorgeously done. What can she do in this last tumbling pass? Double pike, she's rebounded backwards. Messy floor routine with a fall.
It's not enough for the gold, but the big question is it enough for the bronze? Because if she scores 13.4, or less, the bronze medal will go to Imogen Cairns of England.
Well, I think Imogen Cairns is going to be keeping a close eye
Our
on
winners of the
scoreboard.
gold medal, will be Elise Hoffner-Hibbs and Chloe Sims of Australia, finishing level on a total of 57.10.
Now, often what happens in gymnastics is they go for a tiebreaker.
Well,
So I'm not sure if they're going to apply that rule tonight. What they'll do is they'll do a count back. And they often look at... Oh, it's very hard to say what they look at this time because the code of points has completely changed.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's as things stand.
Gymnasts in tonight's competition.
As we await a score for Holly Dykes. Remember, she needs better than a 13.4 to take the bronze medal. Less than that, and the bronze will go to England's Imogen Cairns.
Well, it's been an emotional roller coaster for Chloe Sims, bombing out the first day and coming back and getting the gold medal.
Outstanding performance by both Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada and Chloe Sims of Australia.
Now we just
A tie for the gold.
Just got to wait for Holly Dykes. What is her score and where is she going to sit? Will she have enough for bronze or will she slot into 4th or 5th?
Vital deliberation by the judges. A lot hanging on this. A lot for Australia, a lot for England. A lot for Holly Dykes.
All the gymnasts are standing around waiting in anticipation of those final results to come out. Kim Dowdall, the jury, see that judge standing behind the other two, shaking her head at a question they've asked.
Taking a long time over this.
Deliberations, just making sure that they get the right order in this competition.
Waiting, waiting, waiting. The total needs to be better than 55.750. That's the total for Imogen Cairns.
And we're still waiting on confirmation of whether they're going to use a tiebreaker or whether they're going to go for the 2 gold medals.
The uncertainty would be killing. Crowd getting impatient. I think they've finally agreed on something here.
The difficult thing is that these new changes have only been out for 3 months and the judges haven't had the time to get used to judging and working really quickly like they used to.
They're being overly cautious to avoid making an error.
That's right. You know, they've been under scrutiny in the past.
She's done it by the barest margin, 13.45.
Oh, just pulling in 0.05 ahead of Imogen Cairns. Holly Dykes falling on every apparatus this evening and still getting the bronze medal.
By the barest margin over England's Imogen Cairns. She's just done enough in the final floor routine. She had to have 13.4 or better. She's got 13.45.
She'll be relieved that she got that bronze medal. But you can see the potential of all of these gymnasts out here this evening.
And I think the consensus is it's 2 gold medals, 1 to Chloe Sims of Australia, 1 to Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada, the bronze medal to Australia's Holly Dykes in the women's individual all-around competition. What a contest!
And it's interesting to see that Australia has yet again gone gold and bronze, the same as the men's earlier this afternoon. It was Josh Jeffress getting the gold medal and Philippe Rizzo getting the bronze.
Just confirming those final standings as you... Aha!
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
Now there is a protest.
Technical officials.
There is a protest here on 2 counts on both the gold medal winners, for the vault score that was awarded to Chloe Sims and on the floor score that was awarded to Elise Hoffner-Hibbs. Nobody is going anywhere.
I think both countries are just bidding to try and get that gold medal for their sole individual.
Well, I guess the title is individual all around, isn't it?
It sure is individual, and nobody likes to share the gold medal.
So we're in suspense here, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you're watching our coverage around the world. Well, oh, goodness me, the information that we're getting is that the protests have been dealt with. Hoffner-Hibbs' score has been downgraded. Is that right? That's not what it says on the screen.
Perhaps it's a tiebreaker. It's very hard to know. We're not getting the information through to us.
Well,
they often look back on all the deductions through the evening and then maybe on their qualification, but who knows? I mean, we need some more answers here.
What we do know, as I understand it, Chloe Sims' score has been confirmed. So,
Chloe Sims is
so she's
confirmed.
right on 57.10.
That is her score.
We await clarification of the status of Elise Hoffner-Hibbs. If she retains that score on floor of 14.00 and a total of 57.10, then they've each got a gold medal. Unless we have this runoff to decide. And how would they do that if that were the case?
Oh, there's so many ways that they look at countbacks. I mean, usually you only look at them when it's an individual apparatus final. And
an intense evening. Do we all enjoy the competition? I take that as a yes.
so we've just received the information that they go by the placement after third rotation.
Well, that means
to
Chloe
tie-break.
Sims wins the gold medal.
So that means that Chloe Sims takes the tiebreaker and gets the individual gold solely by herself, and Hoffner-Hibbs gets the silver. Now that's a Federation of International Gymnastics ruling.
Well,
I haven't seen it before because I've never seen anything shared.
the Canadians have already left the floor, so we don't see the reaction from Elise Hoffner-Hibbs. She will finish with the silver medal after finishing on a tied score.
It is very harsh, though. I mean, they did get the same score. And it's so hard to think that they're going to tie-break people that got the same score, but that is gymnastics, that's the life of sport, and it does happen.
Well, there we are. It was a confused, dramatic finish to the women's individual all-around competition. And I imagine a somewhat distraught Elise Hoffner-Hibbs has had to settle for the silver medal after finishing in a tie with Chloe Sims on 57.10. Judges have decreed that the gold medal will be determined by the placings at the end of the third rotation. And on that occasion, Chloe Sims of Australia was ahead and she takes the gold. Hoffner-Hibbs gets the silver and the bronze medal goes to Holly Dykes of Australia. Presenters of the medals.
the winner of the bronze medal, representing Australia, Commonwealth.
There's her mum, proud as punch. Her debut at the Commonwealth Games.
Not just the Commonwealth Games, her debut in senior international competition.
And what an event to do it at.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the silver medal as a result of FIG tie-break rules, representing Canada, Elise Hoffner-Hibbs.
You could hear with that announcement there was an intake of breath among the spectators as they realised how this had panned out. That was their first indication.
It would be hard for Elise Hoffner-Hibbs not to be slightly disappointed.
She manages to smile. In the event of a tie, the scores on the best three apparatus count.
Commonwealth champion and gold medalist with a score of 57.1, representing Australia, Chloe Sims. Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Australia.
Well, an extraordinary result at the end of an extraordinary day's competition. In both the men's and women's individual all-around competitions on this third day of the Commonwealth Games in Melbourne. The men's individual all-round competition was a thriller. The medals were not decided until the last desperate throw of the dice. Josh Jeffress of Australia taking the gold from Nathan Garfuick of Canada, with Philippe Rizzo of Australia the bronze. And now tonight, in the women's individual all-round competition, what a sensational conclusion to the competition, with both Australia's Chloe Sims and Elise Hoffner-Hibbs of Canada finishing level on 57.10 points and the International Federation rules being applied in a tie-break circumstance, and in that case the winner is determined by the addition of the highest scores on 3 apparatus. And in that circumstance, Chloe Sims of Australia emerged victorious to take the gold. Hoffner Hibbs settling for the silver, and Holly Dykes of Australia the bronze. Thumbs up from teammates and coaches. Peggy Liddick, the national coach, what a job she's done with the Australian girls team in the last several years, and reward for effort here tonight. So 4 gold medals have been decided in artistic gymnastics. Canada taking the men's team gold, Australia the women's team gold, Josh Jeffries of Australia the men's individual all-around, and Chloe Sims of Australia the women's individual all-around. It's been an exhausting 3 days of competition, and I'm sure the gymnasts and spectators alike will relish a rest day in gymnastics tomorrow here in Melbourne. But the competition will resume on Monday evening Melbourne time with the men's and women's first session of men's and women's individual apparatus finals, and the second session on the Tuesday evening here in Melbourne. And then of course later in the week we have rhythmic gymnastics to follow. We see some highlights of this final session. And I guess what we don't have highlights of will be the drama that took place at the conclusion of competition. These are highlights of the competition itself. The gold medal winner, Chloe Sims, in a theatrical gesture. Nothing theatrical about that. That's all fun and games. That's the smile of a winner.
Look at her excitement. Her smile, I think, just put a smile on everybody else's face, because she was just genuinely excited, surprised, and just can't wipe that smile off her face.
The 18th Commonwealth Games, Melbourne 2006.